Hi, I'm Igor, and I thought it was a good idea to see what's in a manual and do some testing. Show you the breaking strength of, for instance, a sling. Every time you buy a product and you get a manual and there's beautiful drawings on it, and in those drawings, it often tells you a strength rating or a percentage and something that you can do or shouldn't do. So let's have a look and see what the results are. So let's have a look at number one. It's a 20 millimeter polyester sling with a rating of 23 kilonewtons. That is if you read the manual. And we're going to pull test it and see what the results are. Oh, there it went. At 27.3 kilonewtons or 6,100 pounds. Not a bad result considering that on the label it says 23. So yeah, let's go and have a look at the next one. Let's have a look at number two. We glazed with an iron or a soldering iron the webbing itself. So we kind of melted the outside. As you can tell, there's a bit of a shine in the middle there. And while the pull test is being done, you will see it will break. And it will break at around 22.6 kilonewtons. It didn't break on the iron, but you can see the heat did have an effect on the webbing itself. It's 22.6. It's about 5,000 pounds. Number three, it's an overhand nut in the sling, and we always tell everybody that you should be careful when you tie nuts in the sling. It will definitely reduce the strength of the sling. So let's have a look and see what's happening here. Ooh, that looks bad. It's slowly getting tighter, and it's taking a long time. It's hanging in there, but the final results is going to be there, 14.4 kilonewton. That is 3,200 pounds. That's bad. That's not good. But that's something we have to take into account anytime that happens. Don't put knots in slings. So let's have a look at number four. Two slings, girth hitched together. We always tell people to be careful with that. For some people it's common practice, and in this case you can tell the two slings are really tight. And we also know that from tying nuts in ropes that everywhere there is a sharp bend or a sharp pull or something, touching the webbing, you will see the results. And there it went. It went at 12.2 kilonewtons, which is about 2,700 pounds. That's a major reduction of the strength itself. Let's have a look at number five. All right, so let's have a look at number five, girth hitch. It's a little bit hidden away there on the rod, but you can tell it's getting tighter and tighter. We see girth hitch being done with lanyards, especially in the recreational industry, the adventure industry, where it's tightened around a loop. or D-ring, and in this case we tied it around to the rod, and you can tell it's getting tighter and tighter. So there it went at 19.5 kilonewtons, which is 4,300 pounds. It is always a bad idea to have cut stitches. So we took a knife to it and cut 2 bar tacks out of a row of 6, and it's slowly pulling. So we'll see what the result's going to be for number 6. There it went at 20.5 kilonewtons. 2 missing bar tacks, which is basically 4,600 pounds. And number 7, I have to admit this is my favorite. We took a sling, made it wet in a bucket of water, and then hung it up and start pulling on it. As you can tell, the drops are falling off in slow motion. So there's a nice effect there, and it's gonna break in a few seconds. There it went with a cloud of moisture. Beautiful, 24.8 kilonewtons. Not a bad result, but clearly there's a reduction in strength when something is wet. 5,568 pounds. Not a bad result, but still something to always consider when you're working at height. Number 8, a quick draw. In the manual it shows that you shouldn't be putting 2 carabiners in a loop and then pulling in opposite sides from each other. And in this video you can tell that it breaks at every stitch. It slowly pops up to 1,000 pounds and it pops. And during the popping it's something interesting happening. There's a dynamic force that kind of opens up the gate of the carabiner. These are not carabiners, these are recreational carabiners, so they don't have a closing gate on them. And as you can tell, it's gonna pop open, and there it went on the gate. So always keep in mind those dynamic forces. Thanks for watching, and of course these are not official pull tests. The speed is a bit higher for your entertainment, and of course if the results do give you a good indication, but if we would do this more scientific, we would need to do a lot more testing on it to get better results. The first test, of course, was just a generic test where we showed you that the strength of the rating is actually higher than our labeling, but that has to do with that scientific testing. We just don't want to take a chance that you get the wrong impression that the strings are actually higher or stronger than the actual minimum breaking strength that's on the label. The general use around the same strength as rating, so that is pretty common, pretty good. And then knots or malpractice, much weaker than the rating itself. It's almost a reduction of 50%, like we say in the manual. So always be careful with that. Don't forget to like us or subscribe, and leave us a comment on what we should pull test. Thank you.